In the year 2002, Walt Disney brought attention to the Hawaiian culture with its film Lilo and Stitch. In the title sequence, we see a group of people dancing the hula, who are soon joined by the lead character, a little girl named Lilo. Throughout the film, we see Lilo dancing the hula with other little girls in her neighborhood, much like suburban little girls dance in ballet classes. I began dancing hula in 2006, and I instantly fell in love with the dance and the rich culture associated with it. And why I, like many of you, am not Hawaiian, I really love learning about other cultures, and I think that's what's wonderful about living in the United States. Hello, my name is Shantae, and today I'd like to talk to you about how Hawaiian hula is an important part of Hawaiian culture. First, we'll look at how its history is rooted in legend. Next, we'll look at how it's danced in two different styles, and lastly, we'll look at how it helps spread the Hawaiian culture and spirit around the world. First, let's look at how it's rooted in legend. According to hawaiihistory.org, last access September 20th, 2020, multiple tales tell the story of the mythical legend of hula. But the most popular is that of the fire goddess Pele and her sister Hi'iaka. The legend goes as Pele asked her sisters to dance for her, but only Hi'iaka stepped forward. And she danced using some moves she'd learned from her friend Hopoe. Most people don't realize it, but both men and women dance hula, and in fact, one legend says that men actually used hula as an ancient part of war. In the early 1900s, when missionaries started to arrive, Hawaiians were forced to change the way they danced hula. They were asked to change the clothing they wore and were even forbidden to dance it by some missionaries. But hula survived. Now that we've learned a little bit about the history of hula, let's look at how it's danced in two different styles. The two different styles of hula are hula kahiko and hula awana. First, kahiko. According to the Islander magazine on August 22nd, 2020, kahiko means ancient one, and this is the ancient style of hula. It is danced low to the ground to oli, or chants by people, and percussion instruments like the ipu, which is a hollowed out gourd drum, or the ipu heke, which is a double gourd drum. Dancers in this style wear pa'u, or skirts, and these are made of cloth fabric that often have silkscreen, paint, or dye printed on the fabric. Next, awana. And according to the Smithsonian History on August 30th, 2020, awana means to wander or drift. And this is the modern style of hula. It is danced to mele, or songs, and often includes modern Western instruments like the guitar or the ukulele. It's much more graceful than kahiko, and it often mirrors the movements of the waves of the ocean. Dancers of this style also wear pa'u, cloth skirts, or mu'umu'u, dresses. No matter what style of hula you dance, it often tells a story. Hula frequently uses metaphors and similes of nature to represent people and their qualities. Now that we've looked at the different styles of hula, let's look at how it helps spread the Hawaiian culture. Because many Hawaiians have moved all over the world, hula has moved along with it, and hula becomes the face of the Hawaiian culture, even in Tokyo Disney. And according to the official Tokyo Disney website on September 15th, 2020, there is a luau complete with Hawaiian food, hula dancers, and even an appearance from our favorite guy, Stitch. This is at the Polynesian Terrace restaurant, in case you ever make it there and want to go. The story of hula tells the story of the Hawaiian culture, and it's a universal language for the beauty and the history of the Hawaiian people. Today, I talked to you about how Hawaiian hula is an important part of the Hawaiian culture. First, how its history is rooted in legend. Next, how it's danced in two different styles, hula kahiko and hula awana. And lastly, how it helps keep the culture and spirit of the Hawaiian people alive. In the movie Lilo and Stitch, her sister keeps sending her back to her hula classes despite her objections. She even brings her pet Stitch with her. And Lilo may not have understood the importance of it, but her sister did. In the film, Lilo says, "Ohana means family." And the Hawaiian people have a very unique way of passing their traditions and culture down from one generation to the next. And to keep it in the ohana. And that is hula.